Hundreds of troops from the two largest armies in the world were staring at each other.
Eyeball to eyeball.
Chinese tanks began high-altitude drills, showing off their battle readiness. In the Indian Navy war room,
so there seems to be a lot of movement of Chinese vessels in the IOR.
On the Beijing Global, China's official newspaper was going crazy. Indian troops must leave Doklam. They should not forget their defeat in the 1962 war. In an aggressive PR exercise, they produced a copy from the archives of the Xizang Autonomous Region.
The Qing dynasty has been charging Bhutanese herdsmen grasslands for hundreds of years.
The Doklam Plateau, though, is Bhutanese territory, located at the tri-junction of Sikkim, Tibet and Bhutan. Bhutan is only one of two countries in the world, the other being Taiwan, that have no diplomatic relations with China. India has a pact to protect Bhutan and has permanently stationed an army brigade in the Buddhist kingdom. So important is the Doklam Plateau to China that they have been trying to get Bhutan to give this 269 square kilometer area to them in exchange for 495 square kilometers at Jakurlam and Samlang, which is also disputed between the two countries. With no luck after 20 years of trying, suddenly in early June, see, the Chinese are building a road towards Zompri in the Tri-Junction, a direction which leads straight to the Siliguri corridor, the only connection between India and its northeast. So narrow, at one place only 17 kilometers wide, that it's referred to militarily as Chicken Neck, forcing Indian soldiers to rush reinforcements to the area and creating the eyeball-to-eyeball confrontation, albeit with gun nozzles pointed downwards. It could be China's way of retaliating against India's refusal to join their One Belt, One Road initiative. See Bisbo's detailed story on OBOR. Or it could simply be tough talk meant for the internal consumption of Chinese public. As Premier Xi will host the 96th anniversary of the Communist Party of China and needs to show that he has strong views about India. Similarly, India's rhetoric like this one is also meant for the public.
We can fight 2.5 wars at the same time.
2.5 refers to one each for China and Pakistan and half for internal security. While India did suffer defeat in the War of 1962, very few know about the defeat of the Chinese at the hands of the Indian Army in a series of skirmishes at Nathula and Chola along the Sikkim border just 5 years later.
India were quite pleased with the results at Nathula, seeing it as a dramatic improvement since the 1962 war.
Borders drawn by colonial powers have always created a problem. Iraq's justification for the invasion of Kuwait was?
Historically, Kuwait was always part of Iraq. The British made a new kingdom and installed a puppet. Kuwait's oil belongs to Iraq.
India-Pakistan's Kashmir issue and the Israeli-Palestine violent conflict over West Bank and Jerusalem are both the result of arbitrary decisions by the British. Earlier borders were made unscientifically. For the border decided between British India and the Qing dynasty, that mountain dividing the Amchu and the Teesta River will be the boundary between us. China has never accepted the 1914 McMahon line and lay claims to large parts of Arunachal Pradesh. According to Beijing, Mount Gimpochi, which is further east of the present Bhutanese border, is their boundary, thereby claiming Doklam. The chances of an all-out war between the two great countries is close to non-existent, especially after Rajiv Gandhi broke the ice to become the first Indian Prime Minister in 34 years to visit the Hermit Kingdom, when in 1988 he met Chinese Premier Deng Xiaoping. And it was during Atal Bihari Vajpayee's 2003 visit when China finally accepted Sikkim as part of India. 28 years after Sikkim became part of India on 16th May 1975. PM Modi and Premier Xi played down the standoff when they met on the sidelines of the G20 summit in Germany recently. Instead, they praised each other.
I extend my best wishes to Xi. I wish India more success.
Pure economics and business is the biggest barrier to war. China is India's largest trading partner at $71.5 billion, and Chinese products need the Indian market. Oppo, Vivo, OnePlus are Chinese brands that have sponsored IPL, and Jack Ma is a large shareholder in Paytm. With a 4,057-kilometer border from Ladakh to Arunachal Pradesh, there are bound to be incursions from both sides, but most are resolved within a few hours or max a day. But that won't stop China from playing the needle and nibble game every now and then. to test India's resolve and try figuring out their new military tactics. This Bo's limerick. India and China, both great civilizations, are in a race to be the leading nation. But when it gets rough,